In today's Community Focus, as Omicron cases spike, some are calling for a temporary return to distance learning. Joining us today to talk about that and more, Rhode Island Education Commissioner Angélica Infante-Green. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So, Commissioner, just last night, multiple parents at the K-12 Council meeting called for distance learning, either a full return or at least the option for families who want it. What do you say to folks who feel like they should have that option for their kids right now?
Well, I think what we're focusing in on is maintaining the kids in school. We saw the impact of COVID last year with our children, with the academic, but also the social emotional. Like, that is the piece that, you know, we just really want to make sure that the kids are okay. And, you know, we did hear from parents, but I met with students Monday night from across the state, and they said that, you know, sometimes they get worried, but they need the in-person. They know that they learn better. They know that it's better for their mental health. So I'm hearing it from the kids as well.
And speaking about different perspectives here, the state's largest teachers union suggested moving to distance learning through next Tuesday. What's your reaction to that proposal from them?
So the districts make that decision locally. They work with us and they'll talk with us, and they've all put together a plan. That's something that happens at the local level, and we're not doing, we're not encouraging anyone to go distance learning. If they do, there's a rationale. Either there's a teacher shortage or there are other situations. But we're not closing down schools for a week or 2 weeks at a time unless there is a good reason.
The K-12 Council last night also voted to give you the authority to count virtual learning days as school days. I'm a little confused about that. How does that actually change the system that's already in place?
So there was an executive order that expired that had on there that schools can go to distance learning. Because it is expired, it goes back to the council. So I had to ask the council to authorize, to give me permission to actually authorize those days for the district. So if a district is going to go virtual, distance learning, they would contact us, explain why they're going, and then do what they have to do.
And the updated CDC guidance for schools went into place on Monday in most school districts. There have been mixed reactions. So what's your message to parents and teachers about the protocols and the timing of their implementation?
So parents, we've been following the CDC guidance, and we work with RIDO, who are the healthcare experts, and they also agree with the CDC. So that's why we're putting it in place. And what we've seen, the difference was Delta was a different kind of virus, and now the Omicron, we see that maybe 2 days before you have symptoms and 2 to 3 afterwards, that it can be contagious. So I think it's really important for us to kind of know the facts. And the CDC has laid that out very clearly, and we can, and so have the schools for the parents. I know this changes all the time, and I get it. I get the frustration. I get the parents want to understand exactly why things are being done, but they have found that this is the best way to proceed where we are now.
You talked about this a little bit earlier in our conversation, the different factors that are causing some schools to go remote, and some Providence schools have been moving to remote learning this week due to some staffing shortages there. So how is the district tackling this, and is there any consideration to doing something maybe preemptively to give parents some extra time to plan rather than just saying day to day, this school's closed, this school's closed?
So there have been a couple of schools closed in Providence, one high school and a middle school, only the 7th and 8th grade. And we used the staff that we had to actually go support an elementary school that was down staffing. And what we have done is taken all the admin staff that has the teacher license, and we have deployed them to the schools so that there are experts in front of the students every day that we move forward. So we have made it work, and we made that decision. If not, we were going to have the elementary school go offline. We just don't want to do that. It is very disruptive. It is very difficult for the kids. But I will say that if a child is quarantining or isolating, the district has given those parents an option for their children to have a virtual experience, a distance learning experience. So in Providence, I'm talking. So if they work it out with their school principal, they can have that if they're quarantining and isolating, not for other reasons.
Well, that is all the time that we have today. Rhode Island Education Commissioner Angélica Infante-Green, thanks so much for taking the time out of your day to talk with us.
Absolutely. Bye, Kim.
And looking ahead to tomorrow, when Rhode Island Lieutenant Governor Sabina Matos will be joining us. That's our community focus coming up for you tomorrow, right here at 4.